A lot of people have been asking my opinion on this new drip fork, which is being brought out. And I'm going to be pretty straight with you guys today on why I'm not going in, right? So of course, we all know the drip network has been running for almost 2 years. The price is battling away at $2 now from the all-time high of about $180. So it's not in the best position, but at the same time, it is one of the few DeFi dApps in crypto right now, which is still paying out, which was from the bull market, right? A lot of the dApps that we're using now are newer dApps, which were born of the bear. So that is something interesting about Drip. Now, Drip has few regulations. There's a 10% tax when you deposit or sell or transfer between wallets. But in terms of being able to farm, compound, claim, sell, not much limitation there. You do reach a whale tax when you get a little bit higher up inside of the selling part. You know, for example, I'm over 50,000 claimed now, so I do have a whale tax going on there. This then, as the bear market moved through its steps, we did see some forks of Drip because people saw the success of it, and probably the most successful one has been Furio, right? Furio is still doing very well in the bear market, although it's having to now test what it is actually able to do when the sell pressure gets high. We can see that from the analytics. They have 11,000 players in their vault, which is compared to Drip's almost 200,000 is, you know, it pales in comparison really. It's not that big yet. But the main thing is that they hold their token at a steady price. So it was sitting at 5.5. It's now ranging in the lower range of its LMS, which is 4.49. Now, since that happened, you can see here they took a lot of liquidity out, which went into their FurBot trading bot to try and earn extra sustainable income, and they left $1.2 million in the balance. And since they have done that, it's actually had a negative effect on the price of Fur, and we've seen that it's begun to actually lower in the LMS. Now, I don't find this worrying right now, but it is proof that the LMS does not solve all problems. Now, you know, Furio are completely transparent about this, which I do appreciate, but then you can come and see what they've been doing with the funds since they moved that $3 million into their FurBot is that they've gone down 15% there on their average trading since it started. So that is bad news there. They possibly made a wrong choice, but they believe in this bot. They think it's going to work, but so far the bot is not actually making any kind of money. Now, in terms with this, like I said, it's a bear market. Furio was born in a bear market. They do have limitations. You cannot claim and sell more than 100 tokens in a day. They have a APR, which is variable. It goes up to 2.5% daily, but then can go all the way down to 0.5% if you claim too much. So the more that you claim and sell, the more that you get punished by Furio. They also have the LMS, so they can set the price of their token. At the moment, it's set between $5.5 to $4.5, but there's nothing saying that they can't make it lower if they want to protect the price more, and they might just well do that. The idea of like building on Drip and creating a Drip fork or clone, although it's coded from scratch, they say, Fury also has the difference between Drip is that there are extensive developer fees involved in Furio, not just buying and selling of the token, but of using the Fur pool, of using the Fur bot system, even using the LMS. For a closed FurBot pool does reward the development team with this. And that's one of the main things I disagree with about Furio, but at the same time, I'm not the dev of Furio. I'm just comparing it to Drip, where there is absolutely zero reward going to Forex Shark for the Drip ecosystem. Not talking about the animal farm. He has pigs, which he then stakes in the pig pen, earns himself BUSD. That's how he makes money from this one. But from the Drip network, it is completely non-profit. It is 100% community-driven protocol, right? You can buy, sell as much Drip as you want, right? That's how it runs. Furio does have extensive dev fees, as I said, so that is another negative for, you know, general decentralized finance. But I understand that if someone created this and they put a lot of work into it, then they do need to be rewarded somehow. Yes. So that brings me to this. So I've been seeing this around. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, Richie, you going to do ARK? And I was like, please tell me. Please tell me it's not a Drip fork. They're like, yeah, it's a Drip fork. Well, actually, it's a Furio fork. It's like, it's a Furio fork. Awesome. So it brings us to ARK, right? I'm not going to go into ARK, I'm telling you right now. And I'm going to explain the reasons why I'm not going into ARK there are many reasons why I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say it's going to fail. I'm not even going on the pre-sale because the pre-sale tokens are staked in it automatically as well. I'm not doing any of this, and let me explain why. So first of all, if you are interested, the pre-sale is here. They've had 2 pre-sales already. They completely sold out in minutes, and they're going to have 2 more before their launch on the 2nd of December. So you're going to hear a lot more about this if you do want to get into it, right? Okay, so we can first come to this. 12.5% of the supply will be sold in a private pre-sale round to syndicate founders, which would be my understanding of development team, right? All ARK will be locked in the ARK vault at the time of launch. So they'll be able to withdraw the ARK at the 2% daily plus the limitations after launch from the pre-sale. 12.5% of supply. That's quite a lot. You know, the ARK Vault is responsible for distribution of rewards to investors. 31% of the supply will be sold in public pre-sale rounds, so that's why there's a hell of a lot of tokens going in public pre-sale rounds for people who are interested in that. That is going to add, especially in a bear market, to a lot of dumping going on there, or mega compounding and then claiming out and draining the system later. 32% of the supply will be used to fund the initial liquidity. That's fine. 10% of the supply will go to team and advisors. So that's 12% going to syndicate founders and 10% going to team and advisors. Now, advisors giving some of the supply from the initial mint of tokens is nothing new. It's been done in many of these drip forks. And actually, I think it was also done in drip because Forex gave supply to the initial influencers who hosted the pre-sales on their Telegram channels. We had guys like Crypto Talk, Thomas G was one of them. I can't remember. I think GGen Protocol might have been another one. I can't remember. It was 2 years ago, right? But I do remember they did get some of the supply. So this is a normal thing. But if you add 12.5% up with 10, you know, that's 22.5. That's a quarter of the supply going to founders, team members, or advisors, right? Is it the same people? Who knows? 13.8 will be sent to the Treasury. The Treasury is responsible for sustainability of the protocol through external revenue generations and ecosystem expansion. So this is similar to what I guess Furio is doing with their Fur bot. They're using it to try and earn other funds, although it's not working well at the moment. So that's the first thing I disagree with. There's too much going to the team, way too much. Of course, there's a sell tax of 10% on the token, so let's check that one out. I have here a Guardian wallet. The Guardian wallet is the dev wallet, right? It's the highest level wallet in the ARK vault and acts in the best interest of the protocol. It has a max deposit limit equal to the sum of all other deposits in the ARK vault. So everyone who deposits into ARK, the Guardian wallet can have a max deposit is that, which means it can compound up to this 3 times the amount of everything else deposited in ARK, and it is for the best interest of the protocol. What would they do with these kind of funds is kind of interesting. Of course, in Furio, they use it for rewards to go to team building activities and other things, I guess. Treasury, the function of the ARK Treasury is to grow the investor base, expand the protocol, and stabilize the token price. Marketing and overheads comes from the Treasury. Development comes from the Treasury. Reserve comes from the Treasury, right? So again, this is another idea of the ARK Treasury and the Guardian wallet. There are 2 different aspects of this, which give the development team a massive amount of the tokens which are going through ARK. There's a 24-hour timer on it, just like Furio, which I find frustrating. I don't see any auto compounder yet, so you're going to have to be manually going in every day and doing that. Everything else seems pretty much the same as Drip, apart from the variable tax, right? An airdrop is treated the same as a withdrawal, but instead of the ARK going to your wallet, it goes to your available to airdrop balance on the syndicate page, where it can then be sent to a T number. So there's no giving you a, like in Drip, if you airdrop to your team, then that actually acts confidently for you, because then it means that you have a more positive value, which means that you also can be eligible for airdrops from your upline, right? But for this, airdrops will just be seen as claims, and they don't positively affect your overall Drip balance or token balance, ARK balance, right? This is quite cool. They have allocation control, so you don't just have to withdraw everything in your claimable. You can choose how much you want to claim. That's a nice little touch. I have to admit, that's cool. Reward throttling, right? Net deposit value is what I was mentioning before, where, you know, if you airdrop in Drip, then you actually have a higher net deposit value than if you just claim for yourself. To receive 2% daily rewards on your principal balance, the account must have a positive net deposit value, right? If the result is positive, you'll get 2%. If you're negative, you'll get 1%. Compounds are considered neutral, right? So they don't affect it at all because essentially they're a withdrawal and deposit performed in a single action. Airdrops are considered neutral as well and don't have any impact on the calculation. So they don't give you positivity. So actually compounding and airdropping don't give you any positive balance to affect your APR to put it higher. So if you are a good team leader who's compounding your balance and airdropping to your team, you're not actually going to get any benefit from the system. If you purchase an NFT by giving the dev team more money, a holder can compound more aggressively and withdraw less often, maintaining a higher NDV. Investors making larger initial deposits of up to 4,000 ARK after tax grow faster. So the more you put in, the faster you grow. The bigger your account can get, the more you can sell, the more you can dump on everyone below you and profit. But if they don't get referrals, then they will be negative. So really only influencers, YouTubers like myself would actually gain massive amounts of, of weight in this compared to anyone who doesn't have referrals. The calculation incentivizes positive actions and continuous promotion of the system to generate direct referral rewards from new investor deposits. There's a 24-hour reward timer that will stop after 24 hours. At any time during or after the 24-hour period, an investor can allocate, compound, or withdraw, or airdrop. There's a 300% max payout limit for this DApp. More on this throttling of your yield. So this is setting up a very detailed and frankly stressful amount of regulations to make sure that you're not claiming or compounding too much and that you're not leaving that enough time is elapsing between your compounds and your claims. Your CWR is calculated after a compound or withdrawal action is taken on a 14-day rolling average by dividing the number of seconds compounded by the number of seconds withdrawn during that time. For new accounts, it starts at 1 after the initial deposit is made. You can have a 1 of 7 days of compounds and 7 days of withdrawal, 50-50. Or seconds, they want to break it down to seconds. Lower limit is 0.75. If your CWR falls below 0.75, your daily reward rate will drop to 0.5% daily. So it's essentially very similar to Furio, but it's running on a 14-day rolling average as opposed to a 28 rolling average, which Furio has. And anyway, you're going to be down to 0.5% APR. And you're going to remain there for perpetuity. It can never be recovered, which is similar to Furio, but I think they have a red point, lower point, which when you can actually recover from some 0.5 in Furio. Upper limit, unless you hold a legacy NFT, your CWR cannot exceed 1.5. If the upper limit is exceeded, compounds are suspended until a withdrawal or airdrop is performed, right? If you do get too high with your compounding, you can't compound anymore and you have to withdraw or send it to another account, probably your own account, right? But you need an NFT to be able to do this. So you have silver, gold, and platinum NFTs, which can raise your percentage up higher than that 1.5, it seems. Dump tax is the same as Furio. Sell cap, Furio has a 100 token sell cap, ARK has a 200 ARK token sell cap. It can be changed based on market conditions, of course. They will lower it as the price begins to dump, then they will also lower it. So that you can actually sell your tokens. Users are encouraged to sell early and often. It's better for the system and provides a more stable passive income throughout the life cycle of the art account. So they are telling you to sell early, and I do advise that if you do go into this protocol, then you should be selling early. Sustainable tax. Oh man. A portion of all ARK transactions go to the ARK Vault to maintain the daily rewards. This is exactly like drip, but we have some other things which are not like drip. Okay. 5% of compounds, deposits and compounds go to your upline and a round robin referrals to reward those promoting ARK to new investors. Very nice for influencers. 1.5% goes to legacy NFT rewards for NFT holders. 1.5 goes to the ARK treasury to support ecosystem growth. Remember dev team. 2% goes to liquidity controller for price. So ARK swap, 13% tax, and 2%, 1.5% goes to ARK treasury, which is the dev team. ARK deposit, upline and vaults. ARK sell, 1.5 goes to treasury, which is the dev team. Dump, 5% to treasury. So actually in terms of buys, sells and everything, this is actually better than Furio in terms of the dev team getting too much of the hands in the pie, right? So only the fresh deposits and buys go to the treasury. Sales go to the treasury. So buys and sells go to the treasury. and dumping the token also with a dump tax. Some of the dump tax also goes to the treasury, so that whales are actually selling out into this treasury. But remembering that the treasury, the ARK treasury, is responsible for sustaining the protocol through external revenue generation and ecosystem expansion, which, I'm sorry, I've maybe been in DeFi for too long, but I just see that as go to the dev team's wallets. Essentially, it's what happens. They have a whale tax, which is similar to Drip has, price stability. The primary use case of ARK token is to provide a steady passive income from the daily ROI. Price stability is critical to the healthy growth of the platform, and speculative buying and selling is discouraged by way of tax penalties. Wild swings in the price can create uncertainty and negativity sentiment in the market, which deter new investors from entering the project to instigate community sell-offs. But anyway, I'm already fucking bored reading about this. So essentially, you can tell from probably the tone of my voice that I don't really care. It's putting a hat on a hat on a hat in terms of going from Drip to Furio to then ARK. If you do get into the pre-sale, you might be able to make yourself a nice bag by selling the token or compounding early enough. But generally, I think for the general Tom, Bob, if you're not an influencer, if you don't have a large marketing umbrella under you, then probably you're going to struggle to get anything out of this, in my opinion, because we're in the bear and it's going to dump faster than holy hell. That's my prediction for it. You will not see me going into ARK or talking about ARK. And actually, I'm sick of drip forks, and I will not be going into anymore. King of DeFi. Yes, we are. Bring on some new dApps, though. Just please bring on some new dApps, some new ideas, new DeFi models where we can get our teeth into them and really start experiencing some brand new ideas, because just continually rolling out the same thing with more restrictions and more rewards to the developer, even though it wasn't your idea in the first place. I'm not saying that Drip was the Forex's idea, right? It came from Bankroll Flow, but he didn't add any rewards onto it, which is what, the whole purpose of this education, right? On ARK, on DeFi in 2022, especially in Q4 in a bear market where people are seeing the possibility of being able to make a nice income for themselves by doing as little work as possible by forking projects which already exist. So, did I say that? Ooh. Don't get wrecked.